Trading multiple accounts this morning. My micro accounts are ranging from 115 to roughly 130. Got a mini account up to 3,000. Walked through my multiple time frame analysis already this morning. You'll hear my side of the conversations for a server that I'm in. You won't hear the other sides. If you have any questions about anything you see, feel free to grab a screenshot and message me in one of the servers we share. Roby, what time frame is that you just posted? Oh, daily. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's my 2 hour trend line I've got. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. If we break, well, if we break that, the B point is at roughly 259. Yeah, yep. Yeah, on the way up. 88% retracement, we would see resistance, and I've got a horizontal line there that has had a lot of action over the last several weeks. That's at the 88% at 15,157. Yeah, those are my current long-term fibs. I'm assuming price is going up, and so the move that I'm basing it off of is that the 100% lines up really close to the R3, right? Sure could. Yes, yes. No, I've got it like 20 points up. Yeah. Yeah, if you take the little high that was made on what is that, January 4th? If you take the high on January 4th and then the high on, is that the 2nd? Yeah. Yeah, take it on the 4th. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, the trend line from the 4th to the 11th was a pretty significant line too. We hugged the heck out of that line the whole way down. It was driving me nuts because I hate to see price just ride a line down like that. It's it's a very on one hand it's demonstrating bearish price action because it keeps going down, but it's not bearish enough to break through that trend and continue. And so this is just some weak freaking crap. So at that point you're basically saying, hey, I'm planning for this to fail. Oh yeah, that intersects a little bit above R1. Or I'm sorry, R2. Yeah. That line to stand out so that if we don't do anything with it, I'll just strike it. Probably make it a solid white line on mine. Yeah. Yeah, 15280. My R3 is 15280. Yeah. Market opens in 30 seconds. Yeah, my near-term bias is a short scalp. I'm short-term short, long-term long. Bada bing, bada boom. First target hit. I'm gonna move my stop, my trail a little bit closer. Feeling greedy. It was a good choice. It would have sipped me anyways. This looks like possibly the flag break that'll take us. Hmm, that would be a weird place to put a neckline. 3 minute. This is a possible neckline. Let's keep an eye on this area. Longer term support here. Gonna try the bounce. Stop is the bottom of that candle there. First target hit, move stop to profit. And second target's hit. It's my trend line break, I think. Stop is the bottom of this 20-second candle that broke it. It's too wiggly here. I'm gonna move my stop into profit. Oh, as soon as it gives me a chance. Looks like I'm not gonna get the chance. There we go. Taking it. There's a lot of selling pressure up there. Coming at this trend line second time with better momentum and volume behind it, so it's probably going to break. A little bit of breathing room. Appears to have been a mistake. Come on. I don't like how long this is taking, closing it. There's some indecision as to whether or not it wants to break that daily trend line there. Taking one off, moving to break even. Scroll down here and get it up to cover commissions. Take another one off right there. I'm gonna move my trail below this point right there. Oh, that's funny. Got within a tick, and it's gonna hit me this time. There we go. Took out everything but my sim account, so my leader account. I'm gonna close it. quiet because I'm quiet because I'm actively trading. Bearish harmonic setting up on the 20 and 30-second. Bullish. Bullish, bullish. Got almost to the 150. I draw this fib set on the opening range that we've got here. I don't know. Strangely enough, he got really quiet when the bear market happened. I mean, the guy was born for the market that's happening right now, and I think he's stuck working. I don't think it bounces off this trend line again. Um, we've got horizontal support overnight that happened pretty much at this level. Oh yeah, yeah, that one's actually kind of strong down there. That's also would be us going from the 61 back down to the 50. And that's not uncommon to bounce between the 61 and 50 before either reversing further down or advancing up. Not really, but we've had a lot of volume sell off. I mean, if we look at the 3-minute candles, they're all red except for one. So tomorrow is CPI. Wonder if we're seeing a little price action associated with people getting ready for inflation numbers tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, in 10 minutes. That could be a VWAP bounce, but momentum is very strong right now. I'll take one off just in case and leave one. And I'm going to move my trail right about there. Locks in about 15 points of profit on it. So 127 and VWAP bounce on that one. Free drives on the 22nd. No real divergence. One thing that's interesting though is OBV has diverged on the 1 minute. We're making lower lows in price, but not in shares sold. 50% of this overnight move is at 854, which is just right below R1. It's time to tighten my trail up. Actually, I want to give it a chance to retest the trend line without failing me out. Well, that would be no good. My stop is at the neckline. But yeah, I can see it on my small time frame. A little bit of a inverted head and shoulders, what you're talking about. Yeah, it's got the right momentum for it. But I mean, we advanced over 300 points overnight without really a good pullback. I mean, on this, what is it, 500? Roughly almost a 600 point move, and the last pullback that we had was yesterday. The pullback that we had leading to the close, leading up to power hour, actually. And then from power hour on, we have not made really a lower low until the open. Nice bounce off that trend line. Yeah, could be a trend defining move. That bounced down to roughly the right shoulder level on what you were looking at there, right? Well, it's VWAP, so it makes sense it would respond a little bit there. I don't know if I can call it a floor. Let's do a quick top down. 120 is curving. 30 minutes is down. It's broken through, so the 30-minute is down. It should be noted that the 30-minute has massive price momentum divergence to the downside. Yep. But now I'm looking for my next one. Yep. Or it may not do much, but we can see the market just sped up. It's telling us. Wholesale inventory 2.1 forecast, and it came in at 2.2. So inventories were a tad bit higher than expected. It's pretty marginal. It just means that wholesalers has inventory. And inventory is actually not unexpected with some of the supply chain issues we've been having too. At least they've got stuff. Wow, taking one off, moving to break even. Actually, I'm not going to move to break even. I don't want it to hit me too soon because I think the profit target on that B point is 921. Taking another one off. Now I'm moving to SIP. Near term downtrend also. You got out? Oh, okay. Yep. See what this has done to the 30-minute. 30-minute is still a little bit red. My 9-minute was down, but check engine light's on, so it's curved up. Yeah, yeah, okay. Yep, yep. 3-minute might cross over this bar or the next if we keep this up. Oh, that got close to that profit target, but didn't quite hit it. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I've only got one left, and I will re-enter if I have to. That's what I'm looking for. That's the one. Stop. I'm going to move to break even just in case. Taking one off. So this is the B point right here at 920 for that earlier bullish harmonic. I'm going to take another one off when we get to it. Taking one off. I'm going to move the other one to cover commissions. Commissions and slippage. Nice and safe. Off fibs. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking. Is it's just a downtrend retest, or not a downtrend, but a retest of the retest of the downtrend it broke. The weak retest though didn't get down quite far enough. Well, most of those floor traders are working for like really big money, and they've got enough money to average into their positions to get whole. They, they'll go in with one or two lots if needed, and may accumulate a position of a couple of hundred. Got a shark. Well, yeah, it could be. Could be. I was wondering if we got a D leg forming on a shark, and that D leg could be the D on the ABCD down you're talking about. Is at 88%. That's a key level to pay attention to. See if that holds. I don't know. I don't know. This is a H. Yep. Yeah, longer time frames suggest it wants to go down more. But put my stop at just the other side of 50%. That could have been it. I'm going to assume that was it. Yep. Yeah, it retested its B point. Not liking it. Need to see a shift in volume a little bit. I'm not gonna wait and see what happens here. I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna go down after it chops everything up here. The 3-minute is diverged. R1, but still kind of strong. Yep. Yeah, I've got that fib set in my 3-minute chart. Interesting candle movement, though. The sellers are just surging in. Taking one off. A small trend defining move that happened on a small time frame there. How about that? Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. That is a good point. That could be a inverted head and shoulders. Stop down below that. 50% retracement of that pullback here. Wouldn't that be, that would be kind of neat if on the 1 minute, this is a bearish harmonic setting up. Yeah, yeah, it did. They heard me say that, that's why. There we go. There we go. There's a lot of volume behind that. Well, not on the 1 minute though. 20 seconds showed real good. Yeah. Oh yeah, that would be nice. You know what? That would actually tee up with my pre-market analysis as well, that we would have a pullback to let us go through it without needing to retest. I was thinking we would either break through and retest that 2 hour trend line or have a good pullback prior to it so that we could just go. I'm going to take another one off here at the 88 when we get there. Low volume pullback. 920. 88's at 14,920. Could just be the first flag. where was that pullback to? Pulled back to the 38%, 38 and 41. Let's say another low volume pullback. Well, since we had a pullback so close to the 88, I'm not taking one off at the 88. I'll take one off at 100. Yeah, 928. Yeah, just locked in. Went ahead and locked my trail in for 5 points of profit, just in case it decides to lose its mind. We break this B point, that actually poses well for us to get back up to that 2-hour trend line, in my opinion. A bit of a rush of market orders, sell orders just did come through. Didn't work. Yeah, getting ready to peel one off here. Taking one off. And I'm moving my trail to follow the 1 minute flag. Oh. Oh, yeah, I do. I remember reaching out. I can't do this. Falling knife. I'm bleeding all over the place. How is he freaking profitable? Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah. Yeah, over a period of I got a I got a new role with just crazy flexible hours. Crazy flexible. And so I'm able to trade very actively the first half of the day, kind of, attend a couple of calls the second half, and then, after dinner I finish up whatever day work was left to the side. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, so um, I can fly anywhere Southwest flies for free. And then I can fly where almost any other airline that's domestic US goes, and I just have to pay tax. And so, like, I could fly an American Airlines flight to, you know, Paris for a couple $100. Me and my wife. My son has officially aged out since he graduated from school. You can call your insurance company to be sure, but um, most insurance companies, the kid has to live with you for it to affect your auto insurance policy. Otherwise, so long as your car is covered and they're licensed and they're not violating the terms of their license, you should be good to go. Yeah, yeah. Some policies are set up to only cover those two people. Those are rare. You almost have to explicitly ask for them. Most policies will cover any licensed driver. Now, and it's well, she doesn't live with you, and so they can't just say you're going to have to pay more because she doesn't live with you. So you can just call and ask, hey, I was curious. Daughter's going to come. She's got her driver's license. Do I need to do anything? And the answer is probably going to be about a 2-minute answer that leads to no. Right. Yeah. Boy, there's some chop at this B point here. Well, they might require, yeah, your ex may require you to insure that for your daughter because Jeeps Jeeps aren't cheap to insure for kids. For 2 more years, right? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, you'll probably be helping her with college at that point. Man, this market is slow today. Like it's waiting on something. Well, yeah, I mean, what was it from 945 to 865? So we went down 90, up about 70, down about 70, up about 90. So, it's had movement. I think I'm going to move my trail up to the 61% on this harmonic because if it comes down that low, it's failed. Ah, it could be, could be. This could be the first real wave on the 3 minute because on the 3 minute we just had one red candle, and I don't really like calling one red candle a flag, especially whenever it didn't even breach the body low of the candle before. So this could just be the first flag on a 3 minute. If so, I really like that to break out. the case, how far back could this pullback go? Draw this fib on my small time frame. So right now I'm above the 50, below the 41%. So I'm okay with that. Because I wouldn't expect it to pull back more than 30, which is right here. The 61 should give it support if this is a continuation. And that 61% fib has been active this morning, hasn't it? Oh, yeah. Micro. Yeah, yeah, it's not bad. Even earned a trade was $1.66 round trip on a micro. So that's still three ticks and you're good. Is that right? 50 cents. So no, that's four ticks. You're giving up a point. Yep. Yeah, so you're giving up, a little bit more than three ticks in commissions with earned a trade. With Lilu, it's two ticks and then a little bit. So it's like $1.01. So close enough to two ticks. You didn't send it to Apex Funded, right? You sent it to the other one? Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. I've never had to contact their support. Pattern is breaking rules. So I'm going to close it. We're at the 200% of this harmonic. Well, yeah, I mean, right now, inflation is the conversation being had. And so, people are going to pay close attention to those inflation numbers because even with the numbers they're forecasting, that's not good. You figure the average employee gets 2 to 3% pay raise per year. And so you take a look at like a 5% inflation with a 2.5% raise, you just lost 2.5% of your income basically. Yeah, it normally goes up in the winter. I haven't paid attention to how much more it is. Really? I'm used to gas going up in the winter. That's interesting. Yeah, that's about what it is here. I'm gonna take this breakout here. Well, I mean, so Russia supplies a lot of fuel, and I imagine they've trimmed back. And OPEC keeps saying they're going to increase oil production, but they aren't. So I think they're pushing to get, oil up near $100 a barrel. Yeah, they overproduced, and there actually wasn't anywhere left on Earth to store oil. So so oil went negative because of that. But I'm going to move my stop right there. I do think it wants to go up. It's not close to where I want right now. I want to see it get up to R R3 today. That's too far away. That's not happening today. R2's not too far away. At 970, so yeah, less than 100 points. Yeah. Big order parked up here. It's not too big. 50. What about micros? Oh yeah, there's a big order on micros. At 918, there is 466. And then, all right, take one off. I'll move to break even after this trend line gives me support. When you look at the 1 minute and the 3 minute, this looks like the 1 minute looks like a pullback on the 3. Take a look at momentum. Momentum on the 3 hooked down, but never went red. That's one of the things I look for on pullback and continuation trades. I may have gotten that from you. It's very similar to what I use with my multiple time frame indicators. They help me look for cycles. Um, but yeah, that MACD works really well. I look at that frequently for could this be a pullback on a different time frame? And as I look at smaller time frames, I have to ask myself, if it is it tradable? Trendline retest, or test rather. Low volume. Doesn't mean it won't hit me. It is low volume. Take one off. Take another one off. Moving to break even this time. Yeah, I'm not positive every day, but pretty close. Pretty darn close. And yeah, not over leveraging is a big part of that. And I'm taking one off. So whenever it dipped down on low volume, I added two more. And so I went from 3 to 5, and now I've peeled off 4 on this climb up. Yeah, we got down here and this looked weak, and I added to it with a very tight stop, just a couple of points. I'm like, if you're going to give me another buy signal, I'm going to I'm going to execute my buy signal on this pullback. That's a great question. Man, I've got projects that have been teed up that I have to take a look at the project, determine what business capability they're impacting, and then determine, is it core, is it foundational, is it strategic to the company, and, the technologies that they're using, how close are they to end of life, and it's just work. It's just administrivia work. It helps answer questions during, design, but yeah. Coming up on the 127 of this bearish harmonic. That's at 2 hour line. Ho, 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 ho. I might hold on for that. Huh. That would take us near the 188 of this harmonic. I mean, it's a shark. It's a shark, so, 14,975 is the low side of reversal. Figure, you know, if somebody has got one running, they should peel most of their profit off at the 50%, which is at 966. Here's your gap. I'm gonna I'm gonna trail my flag up to that spot right there. Right? Me too. Yeah. It's the opening chop. Well, I mean, today, for example, today it was choppy for like 30 minutes. The challenge with the open is you've got to wait for price action to make a swing. So the best time to trade the open, in my opinion, the safest time rather, is after it makes its first pivot high and then its next pivot low. At that point, you've got opening price action that you can use for targets and stops and fibs. Yep. I'm actually trying to. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. Um, yeah, I had to clear my throat. I've been trying to slow down in the open. Used to, I was trying to catch every whip back and forth that it did. And so now I'm trying to purposely just take a couple, trying to exercise a little more patience in in those moves. But the open is, I mean, the open can be the most profitable part of the day to trade. It's also the hardest. It's also the hardest part to trade. At least the first 5 minutes. You know, check out my chart here. This one on the left, the 1 minute. We talked about this yesterday, a sign of indecision, right? So, price is established, and then we come down and we make a lower low, we make a higher high, we come back down and get a low, we come back down and make a higher high, and then we pick a direction. That's one thing to watch out for. Whenever you see price making a higher high and then following it up with higher lows or a lower low in this case, and then immediately a big higher high, that is a textbook picture of indecision, and we've had a lot of that in the market the last several days. He does have a nice setup. It actually forces us to evaluate our perspective on the market right now when somebody asks that question. I know, yeah, stupid real job, and I know he's been a little under the weather lately and hasn't been actively trading while his head's groggy. uh, It is. It is. I was just thinking that, I was just thinking I have half a mind to exit right below the 127. And well, here's the thing though. You've got that 2 hour trend line that it finally broke through. And so, yeah, yeah. So I think I want to give it a chance to retest that trend. Get a job. Oh, here's what I'll do. I'm going to move my stop just below the 50% retracement of uh, of that move right there. Oh, that's an ABCD up. Yeah, that's what you should do. Find out what game. Yeah, you should find out what game they play, and then while they're at school, you really get good at that game, and then one day you just play with them and let them be really surprised how good you are at it. So hey guys, observation real quick. This ABCD up, B to C here. We double topped on the 161. So it may come down here to retest this B point. And because of that, I'm going to pull my stop back down. Yeah, yep. Was just thinking that. I was just thinking if I should take my profit now and re-enter lower. The question about that, the question that I have is, we're right here at what could be good support. And then the next point of good support's only like, 10 or 12 points below that. So I think I want to hold. And I spent forever playing this game, God of War. And my son finishes up a game and he plays it and he's like done in a day or two part time. And I'm like, he just made it look easy. All right, man. That's something I believe. I believe that once you have a trading system in place, once you have a way, that way has a certain edge that it gets in the market. And if you get to a point where you've hit your edge or even beat it for the day, you should probably walk away because house rules say it's tipped in the favor of the house, right? And if you ever find yourself ahead of the house, you need to walk away because the odds are they're going to get it back. On that note, I am way past my edge today, and so I'm going to move my trail to right there. That locks in, let's see, 1130, so that's another 20 points, 40. That'll get me above 500 on all my micro accounts. Oh, no. I have one, two, three accounts that aren't above 500. No, it's not. That's a real problem. Nothing funny about it. So, this B point right here got hit for this XABCD. That B point was just hit. You know what? Yeah, 3 minutes hooked down. And we're back at the day long uptrend line too. Should have had yeah, never mind. That would have been stupid. Started to say I should have had my stop on the other side of that, but why would I do that? My stop was in profit. Yes, yes, yes. I guess technically at that point it's not a stop, it's a trail once it moves into profit. Yep. Uh-huh. Yeah. That's the goal. That's the goal. That is the goal. Between the 21st and the 25th of the month. Go to the website, fill out like a help desk ticket to get it done. answer roughly the same questions as Lilu. You know, days traded, all that good stuff. Yes. It would be April. Yeah, it's too late for March. I think it's too late. You got to trade 30 consecutive. You have to trade 30 trading days with Lilu. I don't think you'd hit it. 30 calendar days for that one. I think you're right. So yeah, the 625 you could, but you know, your account may not be big enough to do it. You might want to let it sit a month and compound. Because the minimum's 1,000. No, April requests to get the money in April. Yeah, you have to request it. I'd have to look it up on their website. You got to request it like the last Monday or Tuesday of the month, and then they pay you on like Wednesday or Thursday that week. For payment, yeah, and a couple of days later. Yeah, you wouldn't request March for an April payment. I guess it might show up in April, but it's going to show up a couple of days after the last, I think it's Tuesday in March, last Tuesday of the month. Come on, give it to me, give it to me. Acting like there's a wall, but there's not a big, there it is. 947, there's a 400 lot freaking micro order. 471 lots perched up there. Do something silly. Sounds good. All right, man. See ya. Got two accounts that are freaking $8 and $5 under. Sounds like one more trade. Yeah, so that is actually going to be close enough for me for the day. I don't want to do something foolish and wipe this away. So I showed you where we were at the start, and this is where we finished. The leader accounts at 82.89 after commissions doing minis, and then these are the micro follower accounts. Lowest one's 492, highest one is 550. Take care. If you have any questions, feel free to ping me.